it's a nice, intimate crowd. So, yeah, the title was Moving Meditation, and we weren't really quite sure what to name it. I didn't really have anything planned until this morning. So, I don't know. It's a tricky thing trying to like talk about yoga and climbing or meditation. Anyways, it's like it's such a deep, heavy thing that I don't know. Just talking about it doesn't seem like you can really do it justice. But through climbing, I feel like I can share some of my experiences that maybe can reflect those ideals, I guess. But yeah, for me, climbing is just and I've been climbing for like 17 years. It's something that's changed my life, and it's much more than a sport. It's yeah, it's like the window through which I view the world, and I've done some meditation in my life, and I've also obviously done a lot of climbing. And for me, climbing is like a real instant way I can get into that mindset where, everything kind of just falls away and you're just in the present moment, and you're able to let go of all the excess crap in our heads, and because normally it's just, it can be crazy, with so many thoughts going around. And I think climbing in general is something that just naturally makes that happen, maybe similar like with yoga. And also just being passionate about it makes it really rewarding. So I'm just going to start off with a little video. So yeah, if you want to put that on, go for it, and then we'll just keep going. My name's Chris Sharma. I'm from Santa Cruz, California. I've been climbing for like 15 years. Climbing is this very creative, artistic thing, as well as being an athletic sport. It's about finding beautiful things in nature and interacting with them. I just get inspired by climbs that are hard and spectacular and beautiful. I'm always kind of looking for new ways to push it to the next level.
Venga. ¡Oh, no! ¡Joder!
Don't kill me, you can grab on something.
Woo! Climbing is a never-ending cycle of finding something that you're really motivated on, obsessing over it, and then once you get to the top, celebrating for a little while, and then moving on to the next thing.
Pero dale el salto.
¡A mi cuerda! ¡Mucha!
Mucha.
¡Más! 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 ¡Más!
Yeah, I guess as you can see, I'm really passionate about climbing, and I think just in general, whatever it is that we're passionate about, that's the most important thing, is to have something that we really are in love with and passionate about. That's like something that's so precious that just gives so much meaning to our lives. So for me, climbing is much more than just a sport. It's like my whole lifestyle, and it gives a lot of meaning to my life. So, trying these projects for a long time, it just really, this is really like my passion and my lifestyle. It's, it's a sport, but at the same time, it's much more than a sport. We're going to these amazing, beautiful places in nature and exploring, and for me, it's as much of a sport as an artistic pursuit, and traveling around the world and finding amazing rocks. If you want to pass to the next picture, so it's just really the lifestyle for me that climbing is so special. And as I was saying, it's just allows me to find that mental peace, or just get into that meditative state in a way that's just lets everything fall away. If you want to pass again to the next photo. For me, the big inspiration in climbing is nature, and that's the big difference between a lot of other sports, I guess. It's that everywhere you go in the world, climbing is different, if as opposed to maybe tennis, for example. If you play in one place or another anywhere in the world, it's basically the same. Whereas climbing, if you climb here in northern Spain, or if you're climbing Lake Tahoe, it's totally different rock, totally different scenery, and just really this lifestyle. And so it really transcends being just a sport. And if you want to pass to the next photo, we can, it's really just the exploration and being in touch with nature. And for me, that's really the motivation for me. I'm maybe kind of a lazy person in a way, not so self-disciplined, but when I see a beautiful rock, I really get inspired, and that's where all my motivation to try so hard and to train and to dedicate all my life to improve and to be a serious athlete. It all comes from seeing these amazing formations that are created by Mother Nature. And so that's really, for me, like it's an athletic pursuit, but at the same time, it's very artistic and my way of being creative. So for me, I'm really, what I like to do is go out and find new cliffs and look for new lines, and that's like these cliffs have been there forever. It's not like we're bringing anything new to them. The only thing new we're bringing is an interaction between ourselves and the cliff, and it kind of transforms itself from just some random cliff into like kind of like a work of art, or like a sculpture or something, because it's all of a sudden like this interactive sculpture. And so for me, this is really like such a special thing about climbing. So if you want to pass to the next. Obviously climbing is a sport at the same time. It's very much, we're constantly trying to push the envelope and go farther, push it harder, climb on, grab smaller and smaller holds. And, for me, that's really inspiring, and I'm really motivated by that. Trying to find that moment of weightlessness. It's interesting. Being here at this yoga festival, and climbing's kind of something totally different in a way, but at the same time there are a lot of similarities. Climbing is so much about your body mind awareness and being present in your surroundings, and it also has a lot of differences, but in those differences, I think they kind of complement each other. Yoga is very much finding that serenity within your body, and that balance, which climbing has, but in maybe a little rougher way. It's kind of tapping into that side of the natural world that's a little more harsh and violent in a way, because there's some, as you can see, there's some movements that are just, there's no way to be totally graceful. You have to be a little, tap into like that animal side as well. So if you want to change pictures. So for me, it's just this lifestyle, and climbing, and I think some other similarities that I've seen in between yoga and climbing is that they both are really like a practice. It's not like in climbing you really get to anywhere. There's no finishing point. I have these amazing experiences climbing these cliffs, and once you get to the top, the experience is over, and really the life of the climb is when you're working on it, and you're as soon as you get to the top, you're just kind of moving on to the next thing, looking for the next challenge. And so you really have to learn to enjoy that process. And I think it's similar to that in yoga. You know, you're just going deeper and deeper, and there's no real end. It's just, you know, a continual process of learning new things, and, you know, like in climbing, traveling to new places, and you know, if you think you climb the hardest thing you could possibly climb, and when you climb it, you realize that it wasn't the hardest thing you could possibly climb. You can actually go farther. So it's just kind of a never-ending process. But in that way, it's really perfect as a lifestyle sport, and as kind of like as a spiritual path in a way, you know. So anyway, this is a climb I did in Mallorca. It's a climb over the ocean. It's called deepwater soloing, where we climb with no ropes. And I think this climb, more than any that I've done, really kind of exemplifies kind of my outlook in climbing. It's really just about the aesthetics, you know, combining the aesthetics of nature and obviously taking you know, the athletics and the gymnastics to, you know, to another level as well. So if you want to pass it to the next video, yeah. Kind of interesting when you have these big projects and they occupy your life so extremely. You're in your own world, just being totally obsessed. It seems like that's the only thing that exists. For me, I just want to climb the hardest and most beautiful and most creative route.
Moving on to the next thing.
So yeah, thanks a lot for having me here. I hope you guys enjoyed this little respite from the yoga festival. And yeah, if anybody has any questions or anything, I'd be happy to answer. So yeah, Beaver.
How many times did you try that dyno before you got it?
Yeah, so that climb right there, that's I tried that route probably over 100 times. So it's like I was saying, it's just you have to enjoy the process, because otherwise you're going to drive yourself crazy, you know. So you know, we obviously want to get to the end point, but you know, with this route, you know, just had to try it over and over and over again until I finally got it right. And so yeah, that's at the it was frustrating at sometimes, but at the same time, that's, you know, that's always what I'm looking for, something that's right at your limit. You know, if it comes too easily, then you know that it wasn't really at your limit. So that's, for me, the interesting thing is to find something that's just maybe even a little bit beyond your limit, that really forces me to improve and grow as a climber and as a person. So yeah. Yeah.
You talked about moving meditation, how it becomes, you know, you're not so concerned with exactly what you're doing, if I understood it right. How does that process work for you? How does that work for mountain climbing and you personally?
I think it's like in the same way, like you were saying, just more practice, the more comfortable you feel in that you know, whatever you're doing, and the more you do that, the more, you know, more you're able to just, you know, let go and just, you know, trust your intuition, you know, or just listen to your body, you know. And like with climbing, you know, obviously there's moments where you have to process things and calculate and use judgment, but then there's a lot of times where you just need to respond to your body and just be intuitive, you know. And those are those moments when yeah, you can just kind of, when you're not really, you know, even present of yourself, you know. And I guess that just takes time, you know, like anything. It's just familiarity with what you're doing, so that it does become second nature. And yeah, and it helps if it's something that you like, so that, you know, you'll want to do it a lot. So.
Time for one more question. How about
yeah.
Right. So you talk about climbing in kind of spiritual and artistic terms. You didn't seem to mention like risk or fear at all when you talk about it. Do you have a sense of risk, or do you have fear?
For sure. I mean, there's definitely moments when, like I was saying, you have to make good decisions. You have to use judgment and maybe take calculated risks, you know. But in general, I mean, you know, crossing the street is more dangerous than going climbing, if you know, because at least it's up to you, you know, to, you know, you're not like I don't know, you're not vulnerable by someone else making a mistake, you know. It's all in your own hands. So it's all about making calculated risks, I guess, and just being present and having, you know, a healthy bit of fear. You know, it's good to have fear, because otherwise, you know, you might do something that you'd regret, you know. So that's there for a reason, I guess, to tell us, you know, whether, you know, what are we doing? Should we be doing this or not? You know, and then like you know, there's moments when we have to kind of like analyze that and then like let go of the fear, you know. But in general, for me, like I've always been trying to focus on climbing in a way that's not super dangerous. So like climbing with ropes. This last climb is kind of an exception because it's kind of dangerous. But you know, it's just like anything, you know, like riding a bike or whatever. You just gotta, you know, get comfortable and just jump into it, I guess. Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody. Yeah. Namaste.